All right, let's talk briefly about how automatic block inserter works as well. This one we have just called DCB. It's got dynamic connector block in it, but this is automatic block inserter. And then it has its own panel here on the right. So what automatic block inserter does is it's specifically geared for the block editor, and it will insert this piece of content or whatever amount of content you have in the editor here inside of all of your posts. Well, this is all post types, but we can limit it to posts, and it would insert that wherever you've selected here. So if you're using the classic editor, the only thing you would be able to use is this post area where you can place above or below the post content. But if you're blocked, so if you're using a combination of the classic editor and the block editor, you might want to stick with just this because then you would know it would get inserted onto all of your posts. But if most or all of your important posts, like your big traffic ones, are on the block editor, that's great because then you can use some of these more advanced options and you can insert your block before or after like any block that exists inside of your post. So the most common would be like core paragraph. So I could insert this after the second paragraph inside of all of my posts, or I could say I want it before the first image on all of my posts. So what automatic block inserter is going to do is allow you to insert whatever content you want. We're using it for dynamic connector block, but you can create something that doesn't have to be dynamic. Like if you only have one recipe ebook, then you would just put your content directly in here. You wouldn't need DCB at all. You'd put it directly in automatic block inserter and just insert that bad boy across all of your posts. See if you can get more signups through that. If you are using the free version of automatic block inserter, which actually I think we only have a free version right now, so this is probably a good thing to discuss. The free version uses core options. You can see all of these core blocks, and you may also see plugin-based options in here. But those plugins, if you have any plugins that are adding additional blocks to your site, will only be part of the paid version in the future. So I do think that we have it in the free version right now, but as we're splitting it into two different versions, it will only be core blocks that are available in the future, any plugin based blocks. And so this would be really relevant if you were trying to insert something before, and I don't think it's even supported in the free version right now, but in the future, if you wanted to insert a block right before your recipe card, then you'd be able to say before, and then it would say like WPRM recipe card. You wouldn't need an offset here, so you could leave this blank, or you could just say 1. I think 1 is the default, so I just leave 1. That would be available in the paid version, which may come out today. So we'll see if that got finished or not. But automatic block inserter inserts a block across all of your pages automatically. Options are post type, so you'll mostly be using post. And then if you're using the block editor or I think if the Gutenberg editor, you can get a little bit fancy here. If you are using the classic editor, that's really where this post area support comes from. Most people, you wouldn't need to insert content at the very beginning or the very end anymore. It's not quite as curated is maybe the word I want to look for here. But if you are still using the classic editor, then this would be your best bet until you update at least your top posts so that they can capture this correctly. If you're using the classic editor and you try and insert something based on block, you don't have any blocks in your post. You have a single block called the classic editor block. And so none of these are going to match. So that's probably worth knowing. But hopefully everyone's using the block editor. We love it. We're building block themes now. So we're doing everything with Gutenberg, site editor, full site editing, block editing, all of it.